Hey, what's up, dudes? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Dead by Daylight content. Today, I wanted to talk about the Ash vs. Evil Dead chapter in Dead by Daylight. I recently got really heavily into Ash vs. Evil Dead, finally finding the time to watch the series, and I remembered, wait a second, Ashley J. Williams, is in Dead by Daylight. So I was like, that's really cool. So I started playing him more. And the more I played him, the more I'm like, why did we never get a killer with this chapter? Now, this isn't going to be a killer concept video. We will do one for a Evil Dead character, but I want to talk about the possibilities of why we didn't get one and if we ever possibly could. And I think now is a better time than ever to actually talk about that. But before we jump into it, if you guys wouldn't care to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you end up enjoying the video and want more content like this, I'd really appreciate it. It helps keep the channel going, and we're getting very close to 10k subscribers. It's been one hell of a journey from 9k to 10k, but we are getting there. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. So the Evil Dead Ash vs. Evil Dead chapter for Dead by Daylight came out April 2nd, 2019. And during that whole time of the lead up to the chapter eventually coming out, this was after Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 came out, and we found out that Ash vs. Evil Dead was canceled and everything else. So there was a big, not as big of a build up for this chapter as there could have been with the show ending and everything. I guess people are coming fresh off of it, being upset, wanting more Ash, and we got it this way. But during that whole time, there wasn't really a talk about a killer. It was solely focused on Ash, like Ash being in Dead by Daylight. We didn't really hear talk of a killer or anything else. And I've done my research on this over the past couple of nights. I'm finally getting the video made. I've done a little bit of research on it. BHVR have never actually talked about a killer in the sense of Evil Dead for Dead by Daylight. During this whole lead up to the character actually coming out on here, Ash, there was no talk of a killer. Nothing was really ever talked about in general when it came to a killer. So I was thinking, why? Well, there's not really a clear answer to that either, as they didn't talk about a killer. They didn't talk about why there wasn't a killer or anything else. So we don't have any indication as to why we didn't get a killer with this chapter. Now, this has happened before. We did not get a killer with the Left 4 Dead chapter, but that one makes a little bit more sense to me. When it comes to Bill and the Left 4 Dead chapter, there's not much you could do in the lines of a killer. And back at that time, they still had the firm stance of, you know, we're not doing any non-humanoid-esque characters. And all the main things that you could add from the Left 4 Dead game end up being a tank, or a boomer, a witch, a hunter, the smoker, all that stuff. And while they are humanoid, their powers kind of go way, way out from what Dead by Daylight is and what I think it's capable of based on how they design the game. So that makes a little bit more sense. And when it comes to Bubba, it's an even more confusing chapter when it comes to not getting a survivor with that killer. Now, we eventually did get Kate Denson in the spot of Bubba's, you know, survivor. Seeing as Kate actually looks exactly like the final girl of the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, the one that he chases out the door or whatever else. So we kind of made up for that with Kate, but it's still not an officially licensed survivor from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that's not changed. It hasn't changed for Left 4 Dead, and it hasn't changed for Ash vs. Evil Dead with Ash being in the game. Now, the question is, and really this is the perfect point in time to actually ask this question, could it ever happen? Will it ever happen? Now, the reason I say this is the perfect time to actually bring this question up, to talk about this, is because the Evil Dead 4 is coming out next year. It's called Evil Dead Rise. Now, there hasn't been much going on in the way of Evil Dead since Ash vs. Evil Dead was canceled and Bruce Campbell, supposedly, we're going to say supposedly because he's done this shit before, hung up Ash, the character of Ash. He did it with Army of Darkness. He's done it so many other times, and Ash vs. Evil Dead came out, and the other actors think they can get him to come back, and I believe that too. So there hasn't been much going on since Ash vs. Evil Dead. Yes, we have a video game coming out, and yes, we found out that we have Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead 4 coming out next year with Sam Raimi and Robert Tapper, I believe, and Bruce Campbell helping on it. It might just be Sam and Bruce, but Bruce and Sam are actually working on this new Evil Dead movie. And it's the 40th anniversary, I believe, this year of the Evil Dead. So, with all of that going on, all this heat coming back around the Evil Dead series, all this talk about Ash vs. Evil Dead possibly ending up on Netflix sometime in the near future if the Evil Dead Rise movie does well and brings back that fire with Bruce and everything else. With Evil Dead Rise, I do think there is a good possibility that we could see a killer from the Evil Dead series in Dead by Daylight eventually. It would be the perfect time for them to branch back out, the dudes who are running the Evil Dead, who own the rights, who want to ship and shop it out to promote the movie a little bit more. Put it back in Dead by Daylight, someone they've already worked for before, not for, but with before, putting Ash in the game, a game that has steadily grown since that point and made a ton of money and probably made them a ton of money. Actually bring that killer, a killer, something from the Evil Dead series over to Dead by Daylight to further promote the movie, to further promote the series in general, and maybe get some more hype behind the Evil Dead and maybe bring Ash back for that Mad Max season. So I think that's really interesting. But then you ask the question of, well, what would the killer be? Well, I think when it comes to the Evil Dead, there's so many different killers that they can do. Of course, Ash vs. Evil Dead, Old Ash was the main focus of Dead by Daylight. That was the character that they put in. It's Old Ash. He's got his Florida outfit, his season 3 finale outfit, his grocery value stop, I think that's what it's called, outfit, and his normal Ash vs. Evil Dead outfit. So that was the main focus of the Ash vs. Evil Dead chapter. It was Old Ash. So in my mind, they would take something from Ash vs. Evil Dead and bring it in. So what could you do there? Well, I actually think you have a few very interesting things you can do there. Of course, you can just do a basic Deadite. You can just do a basic demon and kind of do like a possession thing. I don't really know how they would do it, but in my mind, that sounds pretty interesting. Having to survive with friends kind of destroys it. But then again, survive with friends kind of destroys everything. When it comes to killer and balancing and doing anything fun, survive with friends kind of ruins that. You could have like a Deadite possessing different characters and the other survivors not knowing which is which, and you know, they get attacked by that character. I think Ruby from the show could be another very cool character. She's an immortal half demon, half woman. I think that could be very interesting if they can get Lucy Lawless's likeness. Lucy Lawless, amazing actress, whatever. I think that would be pretty cool what they could do differently with her. Of course, the show also had many different versions of Evil Ash. We had the Season 1 Evil Ash, and then the Season 3 Evil Ash. So there's many different Evil Ashes they can do, even if they want to pull the Army of Darkness Evil Ash out and bring him back in the full-clad, you know, armor and everything else, which they're doing in the official Evil Dead game coming out. Or, I think the most interesting choice is probably the most unexpected choice for most people, and that is Ball. Now, this is another one that is completely ruined by Survive with Friends because it loses the factor of you know who it is, unless they kind of change up Ball's character a little bit. Now, in the show, Ball would steal someone's skin, basically, and become that character, become that person. I think that could play very interestingly enough into Dead by Daylight if it wasn't for Survive with Friends, to where when you down someone or hook someone, you have like special perks that doesn't let the survivors know that they've been downed or hooked. You hook them, you take their skin, you go, you know, hello fellow young people, how are you on this cool day, you know, and then you just start killing them all. I think that could be very interesting and cool, but ultimately, again, Survive with Friends kind of ruins that unless they kind of change the power and just change him to like into like a shapeshifter, to where it's like, hey Jim, where the fuck are you at? Oh, I'm way over here, but you're right here with me. No, I'm not. And then that person does. You know, I think that could be cool too, and it could kind of be done in the vein of Ball. But it's all up for speculation. Will this happen? Who fucking knows? I'd love to see it happen. They're branching out more, Dead by Daylight is, and I think it's more likely for them to go back to a group that they've already worked with to add something else cool from that series, from that franchise, from that brand, instead of going further out and maybe getting turned down for another brand. I know a lot of people want It or Hellraiser or Candyman or whatever else. I think getting a Deadite or something from the Evil Dead is more likely than all that other shit. But hey man, I'm just hoping. I like the Evil Dead, I love the Evil Dead, and I was always curious and never really did my research on why we didn't get a killer with that chapter. But I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that they should go back and give us a killer for the Evil Dead? I think the Evil Dead is such an iconic series. It's kind of shitty to not have an iconic killer from that franchise in a game like this that, you know, is so stand out. You know, it stands out so much from everything else with killers and survivors and the different licenses they've got. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, let me know what killers you like to see. I said Evil Ash. I know some people are probably going to say Cheryl or Henrietta, you know, Ruby, all those other cool dudes and gals. So let me know which one you like in the comments down below and give me an idea for their power. Probably going to make some killer concept videos on a couple of characters from the Evil Dead and some, you know, other series, franchises, brands, and maybe some original ones. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I've been your host. My name is Tootin, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.